Happy Sunday night, everybody, and thank you for joining the Elite Racing Network. We are here for the Stay Tuned Sports Truck Series, and this is the Atlanta Legacy 135. I am joined by Matthew Weeks, the co-commentator, and as always, the producer Dave Huckleberry. And here's your layout for tonight. Got a nice hot track temperature, 116 degrees down in Atlanta, Georgia. This is going to shape up to be a pretty good night. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a good night. Hot, slick track is going to be, these trucks are going to be slipping and sliding. It should produce some good racing.
That's right, and as these guys are out here warming up for their qualifying runs, in just a few moments we will have the grid set for tonight. Here's a look at our championship standings so far. Ty McIntosh with a pretty comfortable lead over Gavin Higgins there. Josh Adams right up in there, Leighton Norgard, Matt Gruenberg. We got a lot of guys really tight in the points, and down on that bubble, we got Seth Rawls right now as the last spot currently in the playoffs, but just right behind him, Dylan Javier, Gerald Campbell, Jaden Racimus, all chomping at the bit for that last spot.
It's go time now. I think you only have a couple races until the playoffs start, so you got to get as many points as you can now.
That's right, and there's our rookie standings so far. Matt Gruenberg, James Miller having a really tight battle for the rookie championship standings. Matt Hackathorn, Dylan Javier a little further back, but still a lot of good new talent coming into the Elite Racing League.
Yeah, that new team, the top two rookies that are leading the rookie points, man, I think they got like 2 wins on that team already, 2 or 3 wins. They've looked strong in this truck season.
And here is tonight's race format. We've got 88 laps around Atlanta Motor Speedway, and should be nice and slippery. Guys struggling with grip, and they've only got 3 additional sets of tires in the pits, so they're going to have to be really mindful of their tire wear tonight. And there is no stages, so they, if we don't get any natural cautions, these guys won't have a break to take a deep breath. So it's going to be white knuckle for sure. I don't know. Well, what do you think about racing here at Atlanta, Matt? I know you've ran plenty of times around here, and you're pretty good at saving the tires. So what do you think it's going to take for these guys tonight?
It's all about tire management. If they get long runs, that's what I always think about when I come here. I was lucky enough to have won a truck race in Elite here a couple seasons ago, so it's just all about managing your tires and being quick at it because you can't fall too far back while doing it.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a top priority for these drivers tonight. Looks like qualifying is just wrapping up here. Just a few more moments to find out who is going to be the pole sitter. We have a couple Cup Series regulars running tonight. We got Tate Lytle, R.C. Enerson of Pro Edge Racing. Looks like those are about the only guys that aren't running for points in the series tonight. I don't know if you see any other ones, Matt. But
I really don't. I think those are like the main guys.
so
A
we will
lot of
look
these, a
to
lot of these
see.
guys are all new to me in this truck series. So I'm still learning these guys' names and trucks and everything.
And that's the beauty of it. This is kind of a feeder series, but here are the results of qualifying. We got Tate Lytle on pole, R.C. Enerson starting alongside of him. I just had to call out their Cup regulars, and they showed out right off the bat. We got Ty McIntosh, our points leader, in third, Tommy Ryan fourth, Jesse Racimus qualifying in fifth, Jay Connor in sixth, Chris Wright seventh, Josh Adams eighth, Tom Bourne ninth, and he was really quick in practice. And then we got Dustin Dewar rounding out the top 10.
Jeff Green will be starting in 11th. Seth Rawls in 12th. Oh, man, it went way forward. So 13th, I don't have, I can't see it to show you, but 13th will be Gerald Campbell. 14th will be Richie Hearn. Joe Francis in 15th. Leighton Norgard in 16th. Michael Hossack in 17th. Andrew Hardcastle in 18th. Matt Gruenberg in 19th. And Frank Fody in 20th.
And then 21st, we've got Jaden Racimus. Next to him, Connor Thompson. Matt Hackathorn, third place in the rookie championship, starting in 23rd. We got Randy Yoakum, 24th. Neil Rutt, 25th. Matt Telder, starting 26th. We got James Miller in 27th. 28th, we've got Caleb Pachumer. 29th, Gavin Higgins. And 30th place, we have Mitchell Javier.
31st, we have Randy McAvoy. 32nd, Brady Smith. 33rd, Jeff Ryan. 34th, Jordan McAvoy. 35th, Dave Carpenter. 36th, Michael Klein. 37th, Donald Kite. 38th, Michael Menchaca. 39th, Sam Batwell. 40th, Zach Evans.
And Matt, you'll have to let us know what it looked like. 3 drivers were set to go home tonight, based off of qualifying. Which 3 were those?
Austin, in a bit. I always mess up his last name all the
Inabnit.
time. Dustin Haynes and Race Clark.
Okay, so 41st. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't shuffled up. But Gilberto Gomera, 41st. Kendall Noah Player, longtime elite regular, and 42nd. And Dylan Javier will be rounding out the field. Boys, I'm getting excited, man. Atlanta's one of my favorite racetracks. I mean, we talked about it a little bit already, but these drivers are really going to be struggling with the handling. This is going to be an exciting one, man. I'm excited to see how they fire off, and if anyone's flexes their muscles on these Cup regulars up at the front here, I'd be willing to bet they will. And I think it's going to get real wide out here on the first lap.
Oh yeah, a couple of these guys has a tendency of going really hard the entire run. So I can see, the top 2 guys where they're cup regulars and they know where tires come into play. I can see them letting a couple of guys just go and just chilling and just waiting to pounce.
Here comes the field through turns 3 and 4. We got Tate Lytle, RC Enerson of Pro Edge Racing. We got Ty McIntosh in third behind them. Pace car pulls off, and the Atlanta Legacy 135 is underway. Here they go up through the gears here. Got to be careful not to spin the tires. This is a really slick racetrack. Look at them dive off down into 1, 2 by 2 by 2, all the way back. RC Enerson gets a good run coming up out of 2. He might actually get the nose advantage on Tate. Oh, we got one. Oh, he saved it. Not sure who that was.
Chris Wright.
It's Chris Wright.
Chris Wright, yeah. Oh, I hear tires squealing.
Caution.
Caution is out.
Caution further back in the field somewhere. That was a heck of a save by Chris Wright there. And it looked like somebody else wasn't so fortunate. Oh no, is that Zach Evans? Sorry, I'm a little newer to this Truck Series field, so I'm not very familiar with the numbers. Oh, the truck on the inside gets a little loose. Trying to see what exactly caused this here. Everything's going fine down the back straightaway. Oh, there's a big issue up in front of these guys. But that didn't trigger the caution. It was the 06 getting hit from behind while they were checking up. So we might have to go a little further up to see what actually caused that mess. I see the 4.
Yeah, it looks like the 4 just turned in a little early into the guy. While there was a big checkup. Oh, yep. It was just a big checkup. And the guy,
Yeah.
the 70, or was that the 11? The 70,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
the
they're
11
3
just.
wide. They get a little stacked up, the 11 and the 4 it looks like, and they just run out of room. That is a tough break for some of these guys, man. You get all the pre-race nerves, getting excited for the race, and then turn 3 on the first lap, have an incident like that. I can't tell. I don't think anybody got too serious of damage. Maybe the 11.
I'm looking at it, doesn't seem like he has a lot of damage. I think everyone just slight damage and just be able to get back on the track, get it fixed, and keep going.
Yeah, these guys all might have gotten away relatively okay. I don't think any of those guys' day is going to be ended from that wreck. So that is always a positive. It's Neil Rutt in the 11 truck. He's currently on pit road taking some repairs. It looks like they both kind of just come together there into 3. Maybe they weren't expecting to be 3 wide. James Miller got in a piece of that. That'll be a James Miller is 09, so we'll have to see how his truck turns out. He may have some front end damage, but nonetheless, looks like we've swapped the lead up front in that exchange. RC Enerson had that big run out of turn number 2, and looks like he was able to gain the lead. So curious to see what lane he's going to take. What do you think, Matt?
I'm sure he's going to take the bottom. It's just so much better to take the bottom when you can get a good jump as being the leader.
Yeah, definitely. And he's got the benefit of having a teammate next to him there too, so you'd have to imagine they'll kind of coordinate this a little bit and try to work together. Yeah. As we gather the field back up here, see if we can get off to a good start here this next time. Looks like they should be coming around at 1 to green, I believe. Control alley to the 11, it sounds like. They're going through turns 3 and 4. Jeff Green there in P9, looking to have a solid night tonight here. Good series regular in the Elite Racing Leagues. See Gerald Campbell next to him in 10th, multi-time Cup Series champion Gerald Campbell, one of our good buddies up here in the broadcasting booth.
Yeah, he got to go to Tampa today and watch my Broncos beat up on his books.
Tough break for Gerald. 1-2 green, so we will be restarting this time by. See if these guys can navigate this treacherous racetrack here. This is the older Atlanta surface, so this is before the repave. And a lot of drivers will tell you, including myself and I'm sure Matt here, is that this is the preferred for us drivers on the sim. It's just so much more enjoyable to race here.
Way more enjoyable. This is the real Atlanta. Is this what they should have kept it as?
That's right. Coming through turns 3 and 4, the pace car will be pulling off here. RC Enerson in control on the outside line. Green flag back in the air. Lap 5, lap 6 underway here tonight. RC got a great jump. He'll clear Tate Lytle. Looks like Tate Lytle will clear Ty McIntosh for second. Not so fast though. Watch that run coming out of turn 2 on the outside. Ty McIntosh rocketing around the top. RC Enerson's going to try to go up to cover that. And Ty McIntosh with a power move showing why he is in charge of the points lead. Up to P2 in the 75 truck.
Yeah, he's been running really good this truck series. I feel like he has a shot to win every single week in this truck.
Really feels like it's been a breakout year for Ty McIntosh as well. Not only in the truck series, but the other series around the Elite Racing Leagues. He's really been stout. So definitely keep an eye on that 75 as we get later into this season in the truck series. And don't be too surprised if we find him in the Final Four at the end of the season.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's really picked up his game. I've even noticed it in the Xfinity and Cup Series when I'm on track. He's really been up there challenging for top 10s, top 5s every single week now.
Jesse Racimus. Caution is out. Right as Jesse Racimus was taking a look for P2. We have our second caution of the evening here. It looks like it's
that one.
A little bit further back. Oh, Jesse was driving in the top 3. Jaden, not so much. See what happened to that one truck. Looks like this is on the front straightaway here. We're still rather bunched up. Oh, it had a truck in the wall. Looked like the 30 truck got a piece of the fence there, and that stacked up Jaden, and it looked like just reacting to the 30, he turns down and just clips the 73. Oh, that is a hard hit for the 73. I think there's going to be pretty heavy right side damage on the 1. I'm curious to see if we could We can maybe get a look at the 30 truck just a little bit earlier and see what in the world happened if he got bounced kind of into the fence. Oh, not Zach again.
It just looks like he just ran the travel really wide, and it just
Oh,
went
okay.
straight to the wall. He was
Poor
trying to
Zach.
get on the outside of Chris Wright. That's what he was trying to do, and it was just once you're on that on that side of the track and the travel, and you're trying to make moves, the truck slides already as it is there, so that's just hard to make moves doing that.
Poor Zach Evans. Just been pinballed in both of these crashes. Yeah, here's a look at the 30. Yeah, just it is pretty tricky. I mean, it is one of the straightaways, but it's not exactly straight. And if you're trying to go to the outside of a truck, it just all of a sudden that wall pops out at you right there. Yeah, Connor Thompson just caught a piece of it, and that was enough to throw off Jaden Racimus behind him. And tough break for especially the 73, man. Richie Hearn,
Oh,
he's looking good in the standings too, and he drilled the wall.
yeah, that's going to be a lot of damage to be working
Yeah,
on.
the rear bumper cover got knocked off. Really hard hit. Otherwise, other than kind of the initial start of that, it looked like Connor Thompson got away relatively all right. I think Jaden Racimus kind of took the brunt of the hit on the 73 for him, but
Yeah, and
I'm curious to see. Maybe we could get a quick word from Zach Evans to pick his brain here to see how he's feeling about the start of this one so far. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide Zach Evans up here real fast, and I'm gonna see if we can't get a word from him. Hey, Zach Evans, it's Ethan and Matthew up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
I do have a copy.
Well, unfortunately, it seems like you've kind of just been a product of getting hit in these first two cautions. You seem like you did a good job checking up for both of them, but what are you seeing out there so far?
Well, so here's the sad but also funny part about it is the first one was Sam, who is my teammate here at Wally Racing. And the second one was Neil, who's my teammate over in Osca and might be a future teammate here in Elite. So it's been a lot of friendly fire, honestly, which is never ideal. It's never good to get run into checking up for a wreck, but I don't know if it's better or worse when it's somebody you know, because you can only get so mad. But at the same time, we're 10 laps into this thing. I've been on pit road and I'm restarting 42nd, and I don't even know how much damage I've got. It was only 20 seconds optionals in the pits, but I don't know how much it's hurt arrow wise. So, it's been one of those nights, but we got 70 laps to figure it out.
That's right, buddy. Yeah, just keep your head on a swivel out there.
Yeah,
Go
no
ahead,
kid.
go ahead and let you get some shout outs in before we move you back down with your teammates, and hopefully you can have a nice smooth rest of your race.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm giving them a hard time right now, but obviously shout out to everybody on this Wally Racing team this season. Been enjoying getting back in the trucks this season. And of course, gotta give a shout out to old Me Fine on the hood. Of course, there's been a couple of Me Fine jokes in that Wally voice chat tonight. We have not Me No Fine so far to start the race, but hopefully we'll get this baby turned around and maybe get some good TV time the rest of the way.
All right, buddy. Good luck to you the rest of the night.
Absolutely.
All right, that was Zach Evans looking to turn this thing around. Like he said, not too much damage. Just unfortunate, man. You do everything you can to check up when you see a wreck. And not everyone's able to check up at the same rate. And unfortunately, gets spun around a couple times. But hey, he hasn't hit anything too hard, so he's looking pretty good.
yeah, and ever since this new damage model they finally dropped on the trucks, I think it was like at the beginning of the year or probably a little before that, it's like as long as it's not too much major damage on the front, you can fix it and still go out there and compete.
That is right. Here we come into turns 3 and 4. And the pace car will be pulling off this time, R.C. Enerson accompanied by Ty McIntosh on the front row. Tate Lytle's back into 5th. That was a good shuffle, and we'll see what Jesse Racimus does here if he's ready to pounce. Pace car pulls off, and we are back to green here at Atlanta. R.C. Enerson gets a huge jump. Oh, a little bit of wheel spin out of the 70. Looks like he gathers it up. Tate Lytle looking 3 wide bottom for 3rd. Matt could tell you that is a product of this racetrack. It is really slippery there, getting on the gas. Jesse Racine is still 3 wide. Ooh, a little bit of contact from the 66 truck. They will keep it going. Still 3 wide. Jesse Racine is just looking for a spot to be in line here. Looks like Jay Connor is going to clear him out of turn 4. Jesse Racine is back to 2 wide now.
Yeah, I'm sorry I had to step away for a minute. There was an issue on the start and someone got a black flag because someone slid the tires and hit the wall, so I had to go check that out.
No worries. Back up front, though, Tom Bourne, he was our fastest truck in the pre-race practice, and here he is looking to the inside of Ty McIntosh for that second position. Both these guys trying to figure out who is going to be the one to attack that 50 truck.
Yeah, I'd be worried running that outside too much early in this run. That always scares me at this track, running outside early and burning the tires.
That's right, it's a give and take, right? It's, you know, it's faster up there, but at the same time, you're burning your tires more than the guys on the bottom. So, oh, and you can get really close to that outside wall like Ty McIntosh did there, but it's going to pay off for him for now. He is clear. Ty McIntosh to the lead.
Oh yeah, I see Tate. Tate's just back there riding, hitting the post hitter up there, doing what he normally does, just backs off a little bit and just waiting until the last 30, 40 laps before he drives hard. Ooh, Seth's got loose on the front stretch.
Oh, Seth Rawls going for a ride, mowing the grass. Looks like he's going to keep it straight, get back up on the racing surface. That's the 25 there, Seth Rawls. Great job to gather that back up. We stay green. Yeah, if you see that 56 out there and you're passing him early in a run, you kind of start to worry a little bit. And I hate to talk him up too much, but Tate Lytle's one of those drivers that he's really good at managing the tires, and you know, you can expect, you know, later in the run he will be fast and he will be starting to make those passes back.
I see Chris Wright doing what he normally does at these tracks where you can really wrap the wall and have some good speed, gain of spots using the wall.
Yeah, he is flying. That number 8 Blue Egg marketing truck there of Chris Wright.
That's another thing this drivers love about.
Wide.
Oh yeah, dude, he's in it, and that's another thing about this track. Cause drivers like, oh, as we have a wreck on the front stretch, that all these different lanes that we can use.
It's like we stay green for now. Sounds like there was contact a little further back. Maybe Andrew Hardcastle.
Yeah, the Ford truck. Someone stopped
incident.
Someone stopped in turn 1.
Yeah, it looks like Jeff Ryan is just about all but stopped in turn 1. He's got it gathered back up. Matt Telder really damaged down on the apron. Sam Boutwell, Jeff Ryan trying to get rolling. Michael Hosick back there as well. Oh, man. Atlanta, this is one of those tracks, though, kind of like Daytona, where it's really finicky about throwing a yellow. I'll have to see. Jaden comes down. These guys must have been checking up for something. Looks like the 72 gets into the 1. Shoves him into Sam. Oh, Michael Hosick, really slow. That's what they were reacting to.
Yeah, the
Sam
4 got
Boutwell.
really loose underneath Hosick, and it just caused a big chain reaction on the front stretch. I'm surprised there wasn't a yellow.
Yeah, tough break for those guys, but iRacing did not determine that was a caution. And like I was saying, this track's pretty finicky about it sometimes, so we will race on. Tough break for those guys, but we stay green. Battle up front. Look at Ty McIntosh. Still leading here, but Tom Bourne all over his back bumper. Coming across the start-finish line there, completing lap number 20 here at Atlanta. Tom Bourne taking a look to the outside of Ty McIntosh. Looks like Ty used the top to drive up to the lead, but then he went right back to the bottom trying to preserve his tires. Just barely clears back up in front of Tom Bourne, but Tom Bourne's going to take a look to the bottom into 3.
Yeah, it's a, you got to balance it. You can run up there, but for a few laps, but your best thing to do is get back on the bottom and try to cool those tires down before you attack again.
Let's see, what line does Ty take this time? This time he's going to take the bottom. He ran the top in 3 and 4. Now he's down to the bottom in 1 and 2. Tom Bourne ran kind of around the middle, but he should get a pretty good run down the back straightaway here. But still, Ty McIntosh maintaining about a 1 truck length lead here over Tom Bourne. Tom Bourne taking a big look in 3 and 4, though. Look at him run around the top like that. He is there. Who will lead this lap? Looks like Ty McIntosh led that one, but Tom Bourne is there. He enters right down on Ty McIntosh's door, trying to keep him pinned down to the bottom. Big run out of turn 2 for the 61. You see Ty sliding a little bit there out of 2. That was all she wrote. New leader, Tom Bourne.
Way to work that outside and take that lead, and you called it. Ty got a little loose trying to get that power down off the bottom, and just the momentum on the outside is just too strong.
Yeah, and then if you're Ty, you start to wonder, well, maybe running the top, making those passes, getting up to the lead earlier, that might already be hurting him a little bit here. He might be struggling with the handling a little bit of that truck.
Yeah, and just watching him this lap right there coming out of 2, the rear end looks a little bit slidey right there. So
Ty McIntosh definitely looking just a little uncomfortable with that race truck. He's about to be under fire from Chris Wright. We saw Chris Wright ripping the top earlier, but looks like he still managed to take a little better care of his stuff than Ty.
Oh yeah, I'll be worried about the guys that are sitting a little bit further in this pack, deeper in the top 10, because I know they're just back there just taking care of those tires wrapping the bottom.
That's right. One guy I'd like to kind of point out that I think is on that strategy is the 12 of a Leighton Norgard. He's kind of right in that pocket of guys, kind of towards the bottom of the top 10. And a lot of these guys are just being nice and patient, waiting it out. They know the track's slippery. They know the temperatures are high. They're just taking care of their tires, letting those guys up front race it out and give it about 10, 15, 20 laps. These guys are going to be moving while the other guys ahead of them are burnt up. Norgard looking high on RC.
Chris Wright underneath Ty McIntosh for P2.
Yep, Chris Wright is moving. I think Ty is really struggling. He's back to the top now. I think he's just trying to salvage whatever he can at this point. I think his tires are already pretty burnt up, and he's just trying to take the fastest line now. He's not worried about trying to save him anymore. He's already on the back foot here.
Oh yeah, I just watched him coming out of turn 4, sliding again. That right rear tire is not happy at the moment.
Yep.
Oh, he's so close to that wall.
Real close to that fence.
Oh, into the fence.
There's speed up there. As long as you're not in the fence, there is speed up there. But here comes Jay Connor. He's done a great job making passes here, up to P3. Actually, P2, sorry.
Yeah, I think Ty's really struggling, and this entire pack is being held up a little bit by him.
And here comes the guys you were talking about, Matt.
Oh, Gerald on the front stretch. Woo! Oh!
He saved it. We'll have to see what happened.
He got loose.
Big moment. Oh my goodness.
And then Tate saved it too. What a save by those guys.
Those two drivers hold on to a whole bunch of elite championships, and that is an example of why. These guys have master car control. What an incredible save by Gerald Campbell.
Man, that was scary.
Yeah. Great save by Gerald. Back up here though, is this raging battle for second. Just that group you were just talking about, Matt, all of a sudden they're bigger and bigger here coming up to these leaders. These guys laid back. It's Jesse Racimus, Leighton Norgard, Ryan, Jeff Green, RC Enerson. They've been playing it patient, and all of a sudden here they are catching up to these guys that have been fighting.
Yeah, it looked like RC lost a couple more spots there with Ryan and Jeff Green going by him, so I wonder if RC is being a little bit more patient than the others.
And we'll have to see. None of these guys up here have made any pit stops yet, even though we had quick cautions. But I want to say the fuel window is right around 50 to 52 laps. But we have had a couple cautions, so I'd expect these guys could maybe stretch it 55, maybe even close to lap 60 before they have to pit. So these guys definitely have a lot of time left on these tires, so they really do need to be mindful about it.
Oh yeah. Oh, slide out of who's that? A Leighton? Oh no, Jesse Racimus.
Yeah, Jesse Racimus doing a lot of turning right here. I'd like to see if maybe we could get an onboard of Jesse just to kind of give you guys an idea of just how much. Look at that. Look how much he's turning right. Just like Lightning said, or Doc Hudson said, turn right to go left.
Yep. Gets it into the wall a little bit on the straight, which I find is kind of hard here. Because, you come off a turn 2 sliding, and I noticed I hit the wall on the straightaway here on the backstretch some.
Look at that. That just shows you how loose these race trucks are. These guys, look at that. Even on the front stretch, the back end is just all over the place on these race trucks. You watch him down into one here. He's able to turn it in pretty well. It grips up pretty good, but right when you start giving the power back down, look at that. Just turning the wheel right. Big slides. And that all these guys are fighting that at different levels. It all really depends on how hard they push their stuff, but either way, the underlying factor is these guys are all slipping and sliding around, and honestly, this is the most exciting type of racing.
This is my favorite part about Atlanta when it's hot and you're getting deep into a run and you're sliding all over the place. That's the best part.
Look at this mess right here.
Oh, there comes
Tate. Look at Tate Lytle sending it 3 wide underneath Jeff Green and a Leighton Norgard. Leighton sliding up.
RC close to the. Ooh. Oh, Jesse!
There goes Jesse!
No!
Oh boy, that's not good. And we're probably gonna stay green because he's off the racing surface.
Yep.
And that truck is totaled, folks.
Yep, it is.
That is a expired motor right there. Man, we were just watching. Sorry, Jesse. I'll take the blame for that one. We were just watching him wheel that thing around, and he just stepped out. Looked like he might have got a piece of Jeff Green, and just destroyed the inside wall. That is a tough break for Jesse Racimus.
Big hit in the inside wall. Big hit.
Back up front, though, Tom Bourne is just putting a whooping on these guys so far. I'm curious to see, if these guys keep scrapping it up back here, maybe they don't catch up to Tom Bourne. Maybe he has been out there in the clean air taking good care of his stuff.
Yeah, he has a good gap, and I think once he got past Todd, noticed he was struggling, he just backed his pace down, ran the bottom, and just took care of his stuff while he had the clean air. Or why he has the clean air. Looks like Todd's under fire from Jay Connor for P2. I'm starting to notice Tate and RC picking trucks off one at a time.
Those guys definitely are moving.
And here comes Ryan making a move on Chris Wright as well. We got some comers and goers here. That's a good thing about this track with the high tie wear. It always makes it fun.
That's right. We're not just trying to show the guys up front. I took a look back. It looks like the back half of the field's mostly spaced out. Everyone's kind of just being nice and smart, taking care of their stuff. The real action is right up here inside the top 10, though. These guys are really getting after it. .25 truck looking to the inside of a Leighton Norgard here. That is for the 10th position.
And that's good to see Seth do that after his big save on the front stretch.
Yeah, Seth's had a really good rebound from that earlier. He was sliding through the infield grass not too long ago, and here he is fighting for the top 10.
And I think is that old Jared Rexon in the 10 truck behind him ripping the fence. He's good at saving tires as well.
Is that Rexon? Yeah, man, it's cool to see him back. Yeah, he's definitely really good on the tires.
Oh, I lied. That's Jeff Ryan. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I seen Jared Rexon show up in Xfinity this season, so I thought he was back in the trucks. I'm just so used to his patent 10 number all the time. So.
That's right.
He's looking Ryan's looking really good on the long run. He seems to roll that bottom a lot better than the other guys.
Yeah, Jeff Ryan looking real sporty, despite what it looks like some right front damage, I think. Maybe, yeah, I think I'm seeing that right. Looks like he's got a little bit of right front damage, but he is looking sporty, man. Taking care of his stuff down there on the bottom, not letting that damage hinder him too much.
And going by, Adams, who is an Xfinity Elite champion. I think he's won a truck champ. I don't know if he's won a truck champion or not, but he's a really good driver. Then you got Jeff Green. He's just blowing by him on the bottom. Yeah, he took care of his tires really well.
Yeah. A little bit just up ahead of these guys. Tate Lytle working on Chris Wright for the 5th position. Looks like RC was able to get around Chris. He's taking a look to the outside of Jay Connor now. These guys are really still trying to sort it out to find out who is going to be the runner-up to the 61 of Tom Bourne, who's got a huge lead over these guys still, maintaining just over 2-second advantage on the field. He's looking really good as we get closer and closer to pit stops.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Tommy Ryan.
Oh.
Or Jeff Ryan. Jeff Ryan looks like Jeff Ryan's got a little bit newer tires than these guys. He pitted on lap 30. Probably came down to fix some damage, said, hey, why not throw some tires on there?
I'll be kind of worried if
So
he pitted on lap 30.
So he's lapped currently. That's our mistake. He is lapped.
Oh.
Still looking sporty, though. Keeping up with these leaders with the damage.
That was our fault. We were sitting there watching him fly through the field like he took care of his tires.
That's right. Well, hey, that gives everyone an idea of what the speed advantage will be once these leaders start taking new tires versus, you know, their competitors on the older tires. It's really really open can of worms here at Atlanta for when is the right time to pit.
Definitely, and I could see a couple of these guys probably pitting here in the next 10 laps to probably split this and, you know, split the run.
That's right, and if we're looking about roughly 50 laps on the fuel, these guys would be good to the end. We are within the fuel window to make it to the end. So, anytime really, these guys could start hitting pit road from the lead.
And RC's took a second off of Tom Bourne's lead ever since he got to P2. So
yeah, look at that. RC Enerson is flying. He finally picked his way through the herd of trucks, and he is moving. But the only question I have is, did he wait too long? I mean, you know, we're not very far away from that pit stop. This should still be a big net gain for Tom Bourne jumping out there, but we'll have to see over the next few laps how much RC takes out of that lead.
yeah, RC's goal right now is probably try to get as close as he possibly can before we have to pit.
Wow, look at that. You can tell exactly when RC got into the clean air. Looks like lap 40. 2.5 tenths, 2 tenths, 2 tenths. We'll see what this next lap is. Another 2 tenths. Yeah, RC Enerson is flying right now. Like Tate Lytle, you know, we kind of thought he was hanging back there saving his stuff. Looks like he's didn't quite get through the field as good as RC did. I think RC's definitely got to be the fastest truck on track right now, but he looks like he's got Tommy Ryan, my mistake. Tommy Ryan is laying down some really good lap times following RC Enerson too. So these guys are looking pretty good to be able to run down Tom Bourne before we head down pit road.
Oh yeah, and he was really close to RC in 3 and 4 there, and I think he got a little wiggle on the exit and lost a little bit of time. But I think those two trucks are probably the best trucks right now on these tires. They took care of their stuff well.
You can see that 10, the lapped truck, number 10, Jeff Ryan there, working his way past RC Enerson. Looks like he's a little bit slow on the straightaways from that damage, but just the sheer advantage those newer tires have is on full display right there going around some of our front runners.
Yep, and I see Hosick back there behind Ryan too. He's not up in the top 5 or 10. He got caught in that wreck that didn't bring out a caution, so unlucky for him. He's been having a good season, like in trucks and at ARCA, and been running really well, and has picked up his speed. Another guy's picked up his speed this season.
He's had a great season so far to this point. Looking to continue that. Unfortunate break tonight for Hosick, but there's always next time. And I'm sure he's already looking forward to it. But see what our gap now is.
We have a first truck pit. I think that's James Miller, the first truck hitting pit road there.
James Miller, yeah, he started further back, but he's going to go ahead and make that call. Looks like we got a couple takers. Matt Hawthorne's in pit road. Brady Smith. Yeah, the AVPW guys. Looks like they're making the call.
And that team come out of nowhere in the lead and come out swinging the first couple weeks winning races, man. It's cool. To me, it's cool to see these new guys and new teams show up and put themselves in victory lane, man. It's just cool to see.
That's right. It's good for the sport, too, man. Just bring in some new competition. It's really nice to see some guys come in and flourish and really make it as competitive as it is out here. That's always good addition. Shift Esports guys pulling down to pit lane here. A lot of team calls here on the pit stops.
Yep, and RC is getting close, man. So I think now
Yep,
I think
RC is
now,
there.
if they pit anytime soon, I think RC is really right there now.
Yep, and this is kind of when Tom Borden's got to start thinking, do I just cut the losses and come in now? Do I wait for RC? I mean, most of the time it's great being the leader, but when it comes to pit stop time, man, it is stressful trying to figure out when the right time to go for it is.
Definitely. And this track, to me, I've been burned by guys who pitted before I did. That seems to be the key at this track a lot of the times, is pit before the guy behind you.
That's right. You get out there with new tires while your competitors are on older tires. You build a big lead, and then by the time they come in, take their tires and come out, you've just driven too far away. They just can't run you back down. But here we go. Michael Hosick worked his way around these guys. Tom Bourne taking a dive to the bottom. He might be making the call to pit this time. We'll see. Nope, not yet.
RC's going to have a good run on exit and be right next to him.
Yep. RC Enerson going to lead lap number 51 here.
And Ryan is right there too.
Stretch.
Ryan is just creeping in there, just hanging on with these guys.
Yeah, definitely been a great drive by Tommy Ryan. Tom Bourne is making the call. He will be coming down this time. Jeff Green's going to come with him.
And I can see RC and Tate and probably Ryan pitting probably the next lap or two, because they don't want him to have too much of an advantage on these fresh tires.
Oh, Jay Connor. Either Tom Bourne was slow entering or Jay Connor was too fast. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Jay Connor, if he didn't speed, he had a really good pit entry, though.
Looking at it now, I do not see any speeding penalties.
Yeah, so Jay Connor nailed that pit entry, and I'd be worried Tom Bourne might have been a little too conservative getting down in there, so that'll hurt him in the long run. But yeah, back to your point. I mean, if you're RC Enerson, you want to pit right on top of these guys, and it looks like that is exactly what him and Tate Lytle did. Yep. Once your closest competitor pits, you better pit right on top of them.
And it seems Ryan is staying out. He's probably going to try to take a couple lap advantage here to probably have the better tires at the end of the run.
Yep, get that overcut, secure a lap lead for the bonus point. Looks like 66 Tommy Ryan has called that he is pitting this time. Our next driver to inherit the lead will be Chris Wright. Here he comes down the front straightaway.
Ryan's got on pit road really good.
Good entry by Ryan. Chris Wright will lead that lap. See him flashing by RC Enerson, Tate Lytle. There's Ty McIntosh going around Chris Wright on his new tires. Chris Wright will be pulling down this time. See how Chris Wright navigates his way down here. He's going to let these faster trucks go. It's really tough getting down to this pit road when you're slip sliding around the track. Chris looks like he did a pretty good job, though, getting it down there. It looked shaky, but that's about as smooth as you can get here at Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. I think this is one of the hardest tracks to hit pit road with how slick the surface is. And then the apron is just even more.
Definitely the money stop here. Chris looks like he hits his stall good as long as he doesn't speed on exit. That successful pit cycle for Chris Wright. See how we're cycled out here. Leighton Norgard's still out on the racetrack. He's in first. Or has he pit yet? Or is he still out there?
I think he's still out there.
Okay. Leighton Norgard will secure. Top 7 are yet to pit there. Leighton Norgard has secured his lap lead bonus point. We'll see just how long he's willing to push this here.
And I think you're right about Tom Bourne being a little too slow on pit entry, because RC is right with him on track still. There's a car separating them, so.
Yeah, that's a tough break. I mean, if you had a 2-second lead over the guy, he ran you down, caught you, passed you, and you pit. Oh, we got an issue on pit road. The 59 truck sideways. Hopefully for him, he at least doesn't get a penalty. You'd have to hope. Oh, looks like, yep, we were talking about it earlier. Atlanta, man, being tough. Look at that, just took off on him.
Yep. Luckily, no
Oh, man.
speeding penalty, and he stayed right on pit road. So
Yeah, didn't compound the issues. Obviously gonna have a slow pit stop and lose a lot of time, but would be much worse with a penalty to go with that. Leighton
Yep.
Norgard, our leader, is coming down. Dave Carpenter. Oh no, Dave Carpenter is gonna come down as well. Does a good job getting woed up for pit road. Andrew Hardcastle in. Donald Knight in. These guys must have all ran it right to the edge of the fuel because they're all coming down together. You'd have to imagine they were just about running out.
yeah, they were probably on fumes there. I can see some of these guys, stretch their fuel out in the pit last minute, so that way they have the better tires and they just be on attack the entire time.
Here's your advantage with that undercut being some of the first guys to pit. Seth Rawls, James Miller, Josh Adams, they've all jumped out there into the front. And you see the guys that were leading before the cycle, Tom Bourne, R.C. Enerson, they're back. Though they're not back too far. So if you're one of the guys that undercut, you would have wanted to be further ahead than this. But I'd be willing to bet Tom Bourne, R.C. Enerson, they're going to run these guys down in a hurry.
Yeah, definitely. And I could see RC probably still taking his time a little bit right here just to save a little bit of good, but keep enough pace to stay right with Tom.
Yeah, that's right. Well, now that this is cycled out, we've kind of established a long run. I think it's time we go ahead and toss it to our sponsors for helping us put this on for you guys.
Flames will burn and sparks will fly at the NHRA Midwest Nationals this weekend at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Kick off race weekend in style with 2 qualifying sessions in one day, plus the can't-miss show of Nitro Under the Lights this Friday. Get tickets at WWTRaceway.com with kids 12 and under free in general admission. The NHRA Midwest Nationals this weekend at Worldwide Technology Raceway.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
All right, you are watching the Stay Tuned Sports podcast truck series. Stay Tuned Sports was started in 2016 by 2 friends, even though hating each other's teams, with the purpose of producing a sports show like no other. They wanted to create a show that would cover all major sports with a little bit of comedy mixed in. Stay Tuned Sports releases weekly episodes covering the NFL, NHL, Major League Baseball, and even some college football. So if you're looking for some hot takes mixed in with some good ball busting, then this is the show for you. Stay Tuned Sports, your home for sports nonsense. Our premier sponsors this season are Blue Egg Marketing. Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing pit crew. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand toward victory lane. Don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big. Worldwide Technology Raceway is a motorsport racing facility in Madison, Illinois, just east of St. Louis, Missouri. Features a 1.25-mile oval that hosts the NASCAR Cup Series, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and the NTT IndyCar Series. They have a 2-mile infield road course used by Speed Tour Trans Am, SCCA, and the Porsche Club of America. There's a quarter-mile NHRA sanctioned drag strip that this weekend will host the annual NHRA Camping World Drag Racing Series Midwest Nationals event, and they have the Kartplex, which is a state-of-the-art karting facility. And our final premier sponsor is 4D Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 4D sim racing shoes are custom engineered to connect racers to the pedals in no way no other racing shoe can, and still provide all the comfort needed for those double and triple stints. Visit 4dracewear.com and check out the original racing gloves for your feet. And those are our sponsors for tonight, gentlemen.
Thank you, Dave, and we appreciate all of our sponsors here, the Elite Racing Network. And Matt, I tell you what, man, Tom Bourne has been looking real sporty. He's been an Elite before, obviously used to run with us, but finally under attack by RC Enerson, and I gotta be honest with you, he's keeping RC honest, man. RC's a champion in the Elite Racing Leagues, but Tom Bourne is really making this a tough feat for RC.
And then what do you know? Coming to 20 and go, and look who's lurking in P3 every
That's
time,
right.
man. He just he's a big Kevin Harvick fan. We all know Tate loves Kevin Harvick. He reminds me of so much of how he just closes out races at the end, just like him.
That's right, and he had everybody thinking that the battle was just between these two here at the latter stages, but there he is, and he's lurking, man. He's coming to less than 20 to go at the line this time. We've got a battle for the lead, and Tate Lytle is there.
And then as Dave was going over the sponsor reading the sponsor stuff, I noticed Seth Rawls killed the wall on the backstretch.
It's a tough break for Seth, man. He was really salvaging his day after that early issue, but tough break for Seth for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Here's RC looking on the bottom here. This is where it gets real loose when you're stuck on the bottom, but RC did a good job through there, actually. He still has a nose on Tom Bourne. He might just get him. They're going to drive it down hard into turn 3 here. Tom Bourne really stuck with him, though, on the entry. These guys keep messing around. Tate Lytle's going to be right there to pounce.
And he's right there. And Tate's not afraid to go 3 wide when these guys are racing hard next to each other.
Yep, he knows that 50 truck is a teammate, but he doesn't care. He'll send it 3 wide on him. Oh, Tom's sliding up here. Looks like RC's going to slide up in front. Tom's loose. Does a good job gathering it up. Here comes Tate Lytle underneath him. Now will Tate be able to get clear of Tom?
Yeah, Tate needs to do this quick, because if he doesn't, RC will just pull away.
Yeah,
I think he's going to get Tom
away.
here.
Oh, he's going to go for it. The slide job got it done. That's a lap truck of Andrew Hardcastle just behind these guys. It is a 3-truck race here to the finish. They are pulling away from the rest of the field. These 3 have really separated themselves from the rest. Looks like Tom Bourne's just struggling just a little bit, man. It's such a pressure situation. You know, you're out front. You cycle out to the front after the pit stop. Had a little bit of a slow pit stop, and I think that is really what hurt him the most. And here's 2 champions showing up and just showing how it's done. And we'll have to see, does Tate Lytle have anything for RC Enerson?
Yeah, I think the slow entry hurt him, and then I think he drove a little bit harder to get by the trucks to get the track position back, unlike RC and Tate, who took their time passing those guys.
Yeah, definitely. Big shout out to Matt Gruenberg in 6th. I believe he's leading our rookie standings, having yet another great showing so far tonight. Started in 19th, driven up to 6th. Also James Miller, he started way back in 27th. He's driven up to 10th so far. Dustin Dewar as well. He's running in the 13th position. So a good solid night for Dustin Dewar for Do Good Motorsports.
Dewar always runs good in these trucks. I just think he has these trucks figured out more than the other cars per se.
Yeah, definitely shines in these truck races and on the long runs too. I think it really fits Dewar's style to have these long green flag runs, take care of your stuff. Back up front here, we are still scrapping it out. Tate Lytle's just sitting there sizing up RC Enerson. And what's going through your mind in Tate Lytle's seat right now, Matt?
Me, I'm noticing that, RC's running the middle of the higher line. So I'm just down here doing exactly what Tate's doing, just wrapping the white line, trying to take care of the tires, make sure I stay close within the 10, and then wait for, within 10 laps. And then I'm going to start going and trying different, go up to the outside, put some more pressure on them.
And you folks watching at home will see on the entry of the corners, running the inside line, you gain ground on the guy in front of you that's running the top, but you see just the outside line, you have a straighter exit when you're on the throttle. And look at that, just as you were talking about, Matt. Here goes Tate trying to throw RC off. You're kind of playing a high-speed game of chess. And look at the run Tate Lytle's getting off the top just from being half a lane. He's going to take a look to the inside now. He is there, side by side for the lead.
He's going to try to pin him behind the lap car, do the old little NASCAR pick.
Yep.
Oh,
don't look now. Oh, teammates! They're teammates! Don't do that, boys. Don't look now. They're behind Gerald Campbell. He may be going a lap down, and I guarantee you he does not want to go a lap down. He is one of the toughest trucks to pass out here.
Yep.
He will not. He's not going to. Oh, no, he slid up a little bit. He did get out of their way. All right, sorry, Gerald.
We'll take it back.
You proved me wrong. My fault, Gerald. I owe you one. Sorry, we heard a communication over the radio from Gerald. We can't relay on here. But anyway, Gerald did a great job to stay out of the leader's way here.
And he knew, exactly like I called, he knew what Tate was doing, trying to set the pick.
Yeah. Gerald was not about to be a pawn on the Tate Lytle's chessboard there. Here they come on another lap truck here. RC Enerson trying everything he can to navigate through these trucks and maintain that lead over Tate. You see he slides up a little bit. He drove in a little hard there into 3, and that's Tate Lytle's going to walk right back up to him here. I think Tate is just a little bit faster, but it's just so hard to set up a guy like RC Enerson.
Oh, yeah, and you can defend so well on the outside here. So, and notice the Tate got a little high right there in the middle of the corner.
Yeah, and another factor is the dirty air. If you're right running the same line as that guy in front of you, you do not have as much downforce on the nose of the truck, so it's a lot harder to grip through the corners. Oh, these guys are putting on a show here. Tate's, oh nope, RC's gonna clear him. 9 laps to go in this one. The Atlanta Legacy 135 is proven to be a shootout here. We've had comers and goers. Tom Bourne had an issue. He's back to 4th. But hey, these guys mess around and get into each other again. You never know. Tommy Ryan looked stout all night, and he's not too far back from these guys. So it is, as much as it looks like a 2-horse race, it is definitely not. Anything could happen.
Definitely, and I think he has a couple of lap pressure tires in these guys too.
Yep, that's right. He overcut these guys, so they mess around too much, get to battling hard. That's going to slow both of them down, and Tommy Ryan could get up there and have a shot at this. Regardless of that, though, he's had a great night tonight. It's an awesome run for Tommy Ryan. I'm sure he'll be pleased with the podium finish tonight.
Definitely, and then you got Josh Adams in P5, another guy that he doesn't race the other series as much as he used to, but it's nice to see him running full-time in trucks and running well weekly with these trucks.
Yeah, definitely. One of the regulars, man. I've raced around Josh Adams in the elite racing leagues for years, man. He was already a member of the league when I joined, and he's just one of the nicest guys out here. He's always solid, tons of talent. And it's great to see him out here. He races whenever his work schedule permits, and thankfully he's able to be out here tonight wheeling this thing, and he's doing pretty good so far in the season as well in the standings.
Oh yeah, and I think he finished top 3 or top 5 at the newer Atlanta last weekend. So just Atlanta, he's been running well at these tracks too.
Yeah, definitely a good track for him. Sure. It looks like the gap's kind of stabilized out back to Tommy Ryan. I think he's going to need a little more extracurriculars from these front 2 to have a good shot at him. But I don't know, is Tate Lytle has RC kind of fended him off to the point where Tate has kind of lost his edge? Or you think he's kind of, well, I don't know, seeing him running the top. Oh no. Oh boy. All right.
There's
I guess
our
Tate
answer.
answered it. He's not saving anything. He's giving it all he's got.
Yeah, I think he drove hard to get up there and then battle an RC and just cooked his right rear just a little bit more while RC was just defending.
Yep, just that little bit. RC's got a little advantage with the clean air, and he's just kind of been able to cruise, hold his line. Tate's been having to force the issue trying to set up a pass, and that just hurts his stuff even more.
Yeah, I thought he was just sitting back there going to cool his tires down a little bit before he tried to attack RC again, but I just think that rear tire is just a little too hot.
Got another.
Oh,
Caution is out. Oh no, it sounds like Dustin Dewar, Dave. Oh my goodness. This changes everything.
it really does.
Pow. Oh boy. I wonder what caused it. We might have to, on the next shot, we might have to get a little further back to see if he just got sideways on his own. Oh, I see. So it looks like he gets real loose right here, taps the wall, and that just, he's just fighting that thing all the way down the backstretch, trying to straighten it out. And it looks like, right there, pow, that thing is killed. Who did he collect in that?
Yep. Unlucky 11 truck, the guy that got caught in that first lap wreck.
Neil, man, is just, he's been going through it tonight. Yeah, unfortunate for Dusty. I know it's just one of those things at this track, man. The surface is so worn out, and your tires are real old like that, real hot, and you get sideways, and man, it is tough to gather it back up for sure. And Dusty was trying everything he could, got a little bit of help right there, and just never fully had it saved by the time he got into turn 3, and it just kicked out on him.
Yeah, like I said earlier, like this track on the backstretch is earlier in the race. The backstretch here is just so sketchy. Even if you're in the Xfinity car, you're sliding down the backstretch.
Yeah.
So just to come out of turn 2 like that and then try to save it, it's just so hard.
We should see most everybody on the lead lap pitting here. It'd be hard to imagine anybody stays out here. You'd get to start in first, but maybe Hackathorn.
Yeah, and I just don't think that's a good call. It's just the tire wear is so big here.
Yeah, we'll have to see if maybe he's getting a lap lead and then pulling down, or if he's sending it. We'll have to find out. But yeah, it always looks good in theory. You get to start first, but this track specifically is just so difficult on the tires, on the old tires. But he still has a chance, and this is him giving himself a chance. And if he stays out here, he still could pull down pit road here, so I don't know for sure, but if he's going for this strategy, he's not worried about, having a bad finish. He just wants to give himself a chance to win. So it's definitely in the cards.
Looks like he is
pulling in.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you stay out here, you really need to watch out on the restart too, because the sliding the tires here on the starts is crazy, and then with older tires, just.
Well, hey, good call by Matt. I think he managed to pick up a lap lead there, so I think that was his ultimate goal. He will start at the tail end of the lead lap trucks, but he's trying to go out there and get that bonus point. So props to him, man. That's a good call. Go out and get that extra point. Every point matters.
Yeah, it definitely does. It really does.
RC Enerson, Tate Lytle, Tommy Ryan, Tom Bourne gets another shot at it. I know he was excited to see that yellow. Couple of guys here. Let me see here. Our biggest movers of the race. Yeah, Matt Gruenberg, plus 14 positions from where he started. He's got himself up there and at a chance for a podium. Leighton Norgard still having a nice solid race. We haven't quite seen him all the way at the front like we're used to seeing him in this series, but it has been a good solid race. He's comfortably in the top 10 right now.
Yeah, he was running, I think, top 5 earlier, just saving his tires. I just think the that green flag pit stop kind of jumbled up the order, and he was a little further back than he wanted to be.
Yeah, for sure. And I know Ty McIntosh has to be another guy that was excited to have another opportunity to gain some spots here. It's one of the guys just was always on the back foot, I think, with the tire wear. Ty was. He had tons of speed, but was just having a hard time managing the tires. I know I was kind of hard on you earlier, Ty. If you watch this, I'm sorry.
Hey
But
man, there's
he'll be
just
happy to
some
have another
guys
shot.
out there that don't care about the tire, so they just want to go out and drive hard, which is fine, man.
That's right.
As long as you're having fun and having a good time, that's what matters.
That is right. I'm curious to see what do you think, Matt? You think RC is in the team chat gonna tell Tate when he's going? Help him out here.
Not now. Within 10 to go, it's you're by yourself. Every man for
That's right.
himself.
That's right. This is going to be exciting here. This is our first attempt at a green white checkered. We do get a maximum of 3 attempts if we wreck before we get to the white flag. Coming through 3 and 4, we got a little bit of shade coming over the racetrack. See if that plays much of a factor here. It's 66, 61, 17. These guys are all going to be aggressive here. No one's holding back now. Everything you got. Coming to the restart box. Green flag for RC. Enerson gets a good jump. Matt Gruenberg got stacked back a little bit. Oh, big wreck. Oh, caution is out. Oh, no. Jeff Green, Jake Connor, a Leighton Norgard. Oh, what a shame for those guys. I'm not sure what happened to Jay.
Jay blinked out and came back at the worst possible
Oh,
time.
no. So we might have to watch somebody around him so we can see what exactly happened. That was...
Yeah,
Sounds like
watching it on
it was
mine.
internet related. One of those tough
Yep.
breaks.
Yep, watching on mine, he disappears as soon as they hit the line, pretty much. And Jeff Green didn't see him until he hit him in the right rear.
Maybe let's go to Jeff Green here, Dave, if we can. Be the next truck. Here we go. Yeah, so Jay Connors disappeared, having some sort of connection or computer issue, and boom, look at that. Just comes right back. That is just one of the unfortunate things with iRacing on the internet is sometimes, connection lags or have an issue with your computer and makes you disappear, and all of a sudden you come back and just can cause an incident like that. And that's big bummer for all those guys involved, man. All these guys are having a great run. Just one of those things, man. In real life, you get mechanical failures, and on iRacing, sometimes you get technical failures.
And what I say is pretty much our electrical failure, engine failure.
Right.
It's pretty much equivalent to it.
Yeah. Us drivers like to just kind of make an analogy of it. Try to keep the realism, it's motor blue. Tough break though for Jay Connor, man. He had a great run. He was running way ahead of where he started. Definitely a tough break.
Definitely, man. And it's one of those guys I see run really well, waiting for him to finally break out and get that win. And then I feel like once he gets that win, he'll win a lot more races.
Yeah. I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like he's a really good short track racer too. And, coming to a track like this, though it's not a short track, it kind of some of the similar characteristics of it can really, really help you be good at this track. And he was definitely showing that.
Oh, yeah. I agree with you there.
So RC will still be your leader with Tate Lytle in second, Tommy Ryan in third. Like Tom Bourne in fourth. Matt Gruenberg had a rough restart there, but he maintains the 5th spot. Like we should, I believe, be coming to the 1 to green. We should be doubling up this time, I believe. This is where the blood gets pumping, Matt. Stuff starts to get crazy.
Definitely. I know when I'm leading these races at the end and we get restarts like this, green, white checkers, I'm stressing, dude. It's like, okay, I got to hit my points. I got to be perfect. And you're just sitting there stressing about it.
It's maybe too late to run a side-by-side. I think it's still 2 to green, Dave. It's like 2 to green coming to the 1 to green.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Adams 6th. Joe Francis 7th. Where did he come from? Joe Francis having a good solid run here. I know he loves this racetrack. He was telling me before the race that this is definitely his favorite racetrack, and he's definitely having a good run.
Oh yeah, I didn't see him in the top 10 earlier in the race until after the green flag stops. So yeah, he just quietly snuck his way up there. And I feel like he runs consistently up there pretty well at a lot of these tracks that are similar to this mile and a half kind of style racing.
Sure, so coming around to the 1 to green, looks like RC is going to elect to take the inside line again. And he had a really good start that last restart. I'm sure he is hoping to duplicate that this time, because you're going to want to get as much ground away from Tate Lytle and company as possible here if you want a shot to win this thing.
Oh, definitely. And I think it's the advantage on our, a lot more advantage on here than real life because of just the restart zone, and you can really make these people guess way more than you do in real life.
Yeah, most definitely. Tom Bourne, I know he's chomping at the bit, man. He looked to be the dominant truck all race, and he's got a chance at it. This restart. He's one that's not upset about these green white checkers because he gets another shot at it. And after it looked like he was just gonna kind of have to settle into where he was.
Yeah, definitely. And I felt like he was the better truck on the shorter runs or medium runs, I should say there.
Yeah, that's right. A couple guys I want to shout out real quick too. Frank Fody, Caleb Pachumer running 13th and 14th. They started far back in the field. A couple Lake Norman Motorsports trucks, and they're having a good run here late, and they're looking to gain a couple more spots here as we get ready for the restart. Green white checkered attempt number 2. RC Enerson gonna lead them down here. Pace car pulls off. And green flag back out in the air. RC, another good jump. Tate Lytle and Tommy Ryan did a lot better this time. There is going to be a battle for that second spot coming down here to turn 1. James Miller almost looking 3 wide on Joe Francis. And Tommy Ryan's going to clear Tate Lytle. Look at that power move.
And,
He's loose. Oh, but he's going around.
Oh, we almost thought he was going to roll over.
Almost had a flip. Oh, we're still wrecking.
Poor Zach Evans got caught.
Oh, Zach. Oh, my goodness.
Just an unlucky night for Zach.
Me not fine, like he said earlier. That is a shame, man. Zach's been pinballed a few times tonight, man. And looked like he was climbing back through the field, feeling pretty good after the early issues. And curious to see. Yeah, Tommy just got loose there, going for the power move on Tate. He almost blew over. Look at that. Oh, two wheels off the ground. Kept it under him. I have to see. Looks like they might just stack up reacting to it. Yep. Oh, looks like who is that? Is that Seth Rawls that got hit? No. One of the Shift Esports trucks gets hit by Gerald Campbell there into Zach Evans. Gerald's gonna go for a tough hit right there. That's gonna be probably terminal. Solid concrete down there at this old Atlanta.
It was just Gilberto is who Gerald got into there.
Oh, Gilberto Gomera.
And it just hooked him to the right. Yeah.
Oh, what a bummer. Gilberto was having a really good run too. He was up double-digit positions from where he started. And yet, this one's going to hurt. Bang. That solid concrete wall, that aggressive Eagle truck of Gerald Campbell. He's fighting back from adversity. Tough break there. Andrew Hardcastle navigating through there. And Boutwell just gets a little piece of his teammate. Good job by the 77 stopping there.
And as I'm hearing over the radio, unlucky for maybe Joe Francis, as he might not have enough fuel to make it to the end because he had his auto fuel still checked.
Oh yeah, looks like he just came out of pit road. That is a tough break. Didn't get enough fuel to make it to the finish here with the green-white checkers.
I wonder if anyone else kept their auto fuel on.
Yeah, it could be interesting here. You'd hate to see for some of these guys, especially Joe, man. We were just talking about him up in the top 10, having a good run at his favorite track. And tough break for sure. Well, now we can assume RC Enerson will once again take the inside, and that would put Tom Bourne on the inside in third, and we saw him fire off probably the fastest truck for hot laps, just running as hard as he can. Seemed to be the fastest guy out here. And he's up there. If he gets a good time start on RC Enerson, he definitely has a chance to make something happen here. If he can clear Tate Lytle, give himself a chance.
Definitely, I agree with you there. He just needs to get a really good start and be close to RC going into one.
I'd like to point out as well the 23 truck of Jordan McAvoy. And he's come out of nowhere. He started this race in 34th position. He's up in 10th right now. And Randy Yoakum as well started 24th. He's in 9th. James Miller's gotten up there into 8th. He was on that undercut strategy earlier. Didn't work out for him, but he's fought his way back up here. So a couple guys really putting together solid runs when their back was kind of to the wall. Caleb Pachumer up to, I mentioned him to the last caution. He's up to 12th. Frank Fody up to 11th. Connor Thompson, we saw him hit the wall. One of our first wrecks that involved Zach Evans. He's up in 13th. So a lot of guys making stuff happen here late when it matters. Money time.
And then James Miller got in that first lap wreck and had damage and fixed that and come back up here 8th. And bring him up Frank Fody again. He needs a good run. He had a bad race last week at the Super Speedway of Atlanta, getting wrecked early in the race. So he needs a good run tonight and a good finish. And I can see him possibly getting a top 10 here.
Yep, definitely. So it's still the Pro Edge. Toyota's up front. We got Matt Gruenberg, James Miller, and AVPW up there in the top 10. Josh Adams, Chris Wright. I know Josh Adams is Rubbins Racing Motorsports. Chris Wright, I believe, is independent. I'm sure he's working with Josh. Shift Esports with Ty McIntosh. James Miller, yeah, AVPW. Unacceptable Racing for Randy Yoakum, having himself a solid run, hoping to finish up there. And Jordan McAvoy, another AVPW trucks. Like we said earlier, those guys are looking sporty, man.
Yeah, new team, come out of nowhere and always finds a way to get 2 to 3 trucks in the top 10 or win a race, man. It's just like I said earlier, it's just cool to see guys come out of nowhere and run really well.
That's right. Well, for the final time, this is our final attempt. Green flag in the air, RC Enerson, Tate Lytle. Tate gets a really good jump this time. The race will end, whether it's a caution or the checkered this time. Tate Lytle's down there next to RC Enerson. Caution's out. That'll do it, everybody. RC Enerson is your winner. RC Enerson will win the Atlanta Legacy 135 over teammate Tate Lytle. Looks like the 8 truck got involved there. Let's see what happened on the start. Oh, the 8 and the 09 get together. Wow. Big hit for that 8 truck. And that will do it. That was our final attempt at the green-white checkered. We will come around. We will come around to take the checkered flag this time by.
All right. Tate asked to be pulled up earlier in the interview. I guess he has to do something.
I guess we could do that for him. Yeah. Yeah, we gotta ask him if he'll finish 3rd instead of 2nd.
You need to drop back one spot.
Yeah. Sounds like guys are running out of fuel here. Hopefully they can make it back to the line. You definitely got to make it. Look at that close finish there. RC Enerson for Pro Edge Racing will come around here. Oh, looks like they're going to race it out. Race it out after the checkered. Yeah, great job by Matt Gruenberg getting up there for P3. Tom Bourne, I'm sure he has to feel a little bit bitter about ended up in 4th, but he had a great night all race long. Just came up just a couple spots short, unfortunately, but RC will come around and do his celebration.
Everybody running out of fuel. I'm still waiting for everybody to get to the start finish line so we can show the finish.
Yeah, lots of trucks running out.
Yeah.
I'm sure Weeks is going to have a fun time unraveling all that.
Yeah, they're asking about if they can keep their spot, and I don't know what Chad will do. I was like, I think he probably keep it like real life is like you have to finish the race. You run out of gas, you run out of gas.
I'd assume it's wherever
Whatever
you
iRacing
cross the
says.
line, Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, here's our results. RC Enerson with the win. Matt Gruenberg.
And
actually, I think it was Tate Lytle second. Matt Gruenberg third. Tom Bourne fourth. Joshua Adams is our top 5.
Tate got a penalty for passing the pace car, and they're saying he finished 28th.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Well,
we don't have to interview him. He is free to go.
Interesting. Well, Weeks is going to have a great time unraveling all that. Unofficially, looks like Matt Gruenberg second, Tom Bourne third. Very interesting. Well, give or take Tate, the rest of our finishing order, we got Chris Wright 5th, Ty McIntosh comes back to 6th, Connor Thompson up to 7th, Caleb Pachumer with a great finish, P8, Gavin Higgins 9th, Dylan Javier 10th. We got Donald Knight in 11th, Dave Carpenter 12th, Leighton Norgard 13th, Mitchell Javier 14th, Andrew Hardcastle 15th, Brady Smith 16th, Neil Rutz 17th. Good run for Neil after the early adversity, and Tommy Reinen 18th. And it looks like we've got Zach Evans 19th. After all he went through, I think he'll take a solid P19. Joe Francis 20th. Matt Hackathorn 21st. Gerald Campbell 22nd. Gilberto Gomera in 23rd. Sam Beltwell 24th. Randy Yoakum 25th. Frank Fody 26th. Jordan McAvoy 27th. Tate Lytle maybe 28th or 2nd. James Miller 29th. Jeff Green 30th. We've got Michael Klein 31st. Jeff Ryan 32nd. Randy McAvoy 33rd. Michael Hosick 34th. Jay Connor 35th. Dustin Dewar unfortunately 36th. Same with Seth Rawls 37th. Richie Hearn 38th. Jaden Racimus 39th. Jesse Racimus 40th. Kennel Noah Player 41st. Michael Menchaca 42nd. And Matt Telder will round us out in 43rd. And it looks like... see who we've got in the waiting room here. We're joined by our supposed second place finisher, Tate Lytle. Tate, you got a copy, buddy?
I do.
So you had a nice quiet night, just kind of hanging out, saving your stuff, charging there at the end. What more did you need to get old Richard?
I needed him to be teaching someone else how to race somewhere else other than being home. I think he was, I think it might have just been the middle line. He was running more of a middle, and he was saving a lot more tire than me. Generally, as you guys know, the bottom is normally OP when it comes to saving your tires, but I was even, so like it was driving good, but he was, probably 4% better on the right front and a solid 10% better on the right rear. So I don't really know what else I should have been doing, but I knew when I got beside him there with 12 to go, that was probably my shot, and I just didn't have the rotation on entry to make it happen. But second, so it's showing me 28th because I entered the pit road and those dingles that somehow after 3 cautions didn't have enough gas in their trucks, which I don't know, like how I don't even ask me, dude. I have no idea how that's even a thing. But it's not like it was one guy. It was like a handful of them. They were still coasting through 3 and 4. I can guarantee you none of them made it back to the line, but because I entered pit road and I had passed them, I got a penalty and it didn't count. It put me in 28th, but we'll call it second. If Chad doesn't want to put me second, I'll fly out to Pennsylvania and do something about it. But yeah, thanks to you guys, and RC, I timed that last restart well, which was a little bit of an assist from RC, but I was like, man, I might actually have a shot here if it goes green, but of course it did not because 87 people running out of gas for no reason after the third overtime caution. But thanks to Days Gone By, Brett Wentz, gotta love him. Yeah, I don't know. It was fun until it wasn't. I suck with the loose truck, but it was fun.
All right, buddy. Well, unless you got any other shout outs, man, congrats on the runner up. I was hoping to see that last restart play out too, but either way, good solid P2, buddy, and I'm sure we'll talk to you hopefully on Monday and or Wednesday.
Yeah, well, if you have anything to say about it, they won't be. Is Grandma Betty watching right now?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, I was gonna shout her out, but if she's not watching, her baby boy's commentating instead of racing. Which, if he was racing, I would have got third instead of second. So.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yep. Peace out.
All right, buddy. Good run. All right. So, do we have Matt Gruenberg, Dave? I don't see him in the waiting room. I see Tom Bourne. That was our fourth place. Yeah, here we got Tom Bourne. I think P4, maybe P3 with the weird scoring there, but either way, man, great solid run by you tonight. Seemed like you were the favorite there early on. Got out to that big lead, and what else did you need, man, to try to hold off that 50 truck?
I definitely needed more rear grip on the second run. Me and RC were talking just before, and something changed because he was, I don't know if he was saving more on the first run or I was just pushing hard, getting past the guys that pit before me, but I felt like I wore out my tires a little too much just trying to get up there, and overall just I was sliding way too much and I was just trying to hang on at that point.
And was the play kind of on that long run? It seemed like you pitted kind of right after RC got to you. Was that kind of the play there, trying to just undercut it once he caught you, or were you waiting on him to pit, or what was the move there on that long run?
So originally I wanted to split it directly in half. I wanted to go 44 coming to 45, and then as the run kept going on, my lead was kind of shrinking a little bit, but nothing too crazy. And then it felt like I just couldn't put the power down off the corners anymore. I noticed I was getting a lot of guys in coming off 4 where I could put the power down and they couldn't. And then it kind of evened out. And RC did a great job saving tires. Hats off to him on that first run and the whole race, honestly. But once he got to me, I'm like, all right, you know what? It took him this many laps to catch me the first time. If I can somehow get out to that lead again, hopefully it'll end up working out that way. But unfortunately, I had to call an audible, and I wanted to pit a little later, but I knew I'd end up losing too much time. And honestly, with the way these races go, sometimes there's going to be a late race wreck at some point, and case in point tonight.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, it was a good, solid run for you tonight. Definitely some valuable points that kind of help you close in on the battle for the playoffs. So, what's kind of your outlook moving forward here as you creep up closer and closer to the bubble?
We're just trying to gather as many points as possible. I think over the past couple weeks we do have the speed to end up winning one of these things at some point. I just hope that when we do decide to win one of them, it is in the playoffs, if I'm in the playoffs. Other than that, just consistent runs. Last week kind of hurt me with getting taken out with Fody, but we'll rebound. We rebounded this week, and hopefully Sonoma is roughly the same outcome.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, good solid run for you tonight. Definitely much needed here. And any shout outs you got before we let you go?
Yeah, actually, Reaper Power Company, been on my car for a couple years now. They're great. Progressive Eagle, they brought me in on a whim. I jokingly said to Gerald, I'm like, hey, I'll come race Elite again, and ended up sticking to it, and here we are now. You guys for putting on a broadcast I don't even know how many days a week at this point. Always a great job, always great production. My wonderful fiance Melissa, she's my number one supporter. My best friend Summer, she's been getting into watching my races recently, and finally glad I can put actually get up into the booth and give a shout out to her. So and just Chad for letting me come back after a little 2-year hiatus. It's fun racing back here.
Yeah, for sure, man. Definitely glad to see you back around here in the elite racing leagues, and congrats on the good solid run tonight. And hopefully we'll get to talk to you in the next race.
I don't know about the next race, but somewhere down the line.
All right, sounds good, buddy. That was Tom Bourne, and looks like next we will have RC Enerson, your race winner tonight. RC, it's Ethan up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy.
Howdy, partner.
Well, you kind of caught us by surprise. I mean, me and Matt were kind of watching you laying back there on that long run, and I didn't know if you had much to catch up to Tom, but you started rocketing up there, and it kind of. What do you think the difference was? You think you were just keeping the rear tires on it better than him, and he kind of pushed a little too hard, or?
Yeah, just the tire wear was really, really bad. I mean, me and Tate in practice, like if you push on the first 8 laps, you're immediately 4/10 slower lap from there on out, all the way through the stint. So it was like just kind of babying the car for the first 15 or so laps. And then even when you do start to pick up ground, not pushing too hard on them. It's easy when you start to catch them to start pushing a little harder, but just keep the reins on it and keep it back. And then with I'd say like about 15 minutes until, or 15 laps until we were going to get pit there midway was when I was actually, giving it everything.
Yeah, for sure, man. And we saw Tate kind of breathing all over your back bumper there coming up to the finish before the string of cautions, but he kind of have you sweating a little bit. It looked like you guys made a little contact. It looked fun out there.
Yeah, I was doing my best to not get picked by Gerald because I knew that's what he was going to try to do to me. And I even said it to him over there. I was like, you better not pick me on the back of Gerald. And Gerald ended up moving out of the way. But yeah, we did get into it a little bit. I was turning away, trying not to turn him into the wall. But yeah, no, it was really fun. But we actually found out the reason why I was so much faster at like the last 5 laps before the end is I accidentally auto fueled the car. So I had massive understeer where he just couldn't keep the rear under it, and it was just so much faster with the auto fuel.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. And hey, any other maybe any other race appearances, kind of real life racing that coming up?
We're trying. We're trying. There's a couple of opportunities to get back in the NASCAR again this year, so we'll see if that comes to light. But you never know. We'll just have to see. But nothing to announce as of right now.
That sounds good, man. Well, we'll all be here watching, whenever an opportunity comes up. But either way, man, good run tonight, good win, good old Pro Edge win. And any shout outs you got?
Yeah. You guys up here in the booth, Chad. He puts together a lot of these leagues, and I mean he's juggling that. That's like a full-time job in itself. So for him to do that and have a normal full-time job is a lot, and it gives us a place to go to in the evenings and do the thing we love, which is racing. And obviously Pro Edge Racing. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Where are we at next Vinny? I think Charlotte or something like that.
Charlotte, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun. So I'm excited for tomorrow night, and I guess this was more of like a tune-up rather than anything. So yeah, see you guys tomorrow.
Sounds good, buddy. Well, good win tonight, man. And yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Hopefully, you'll be up doing an interview tomorrow too.
Yeah, maybe we can get a 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's the goal.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yep, good win, buddy. That was your race winner, RC Enerson, and Matt, Dave, man, this was an exciting race. We got to see a little bit of everything here, as you see the results on your screen and our schedules for the upcoming series. But we got to see long runs. We got to see tire wear, trucks slip sliding around. We even saw a round of green flag stops, and of course, we got a little bit of carnage there at the end. A couple late race restarts, and unfortunately, weren't able to make it back to the white flag. But either way, man, it's trucks that seemed to kind of deserve to win ended up there at the front at the end. And Matt, you got any other closing statements?
Yeah, I agree with you. It was fun to watch these guys race around this slick track. It's always a pleasure watching, these boys wheel it here, and it was good. Like you said, we got a bit of everything: long run, short runs, late race restarts. So we got it all in one race, which was good.
Yeah, for sure, man. Definitely good to see. Good racing out there, and yeah, for Ethan Burrell, Matthew Weeks, Dave Huckleberry producing. This is the Stay Tuned Sports podcast truck series. Tonight was the Atlanta Legacy 135, and thank you for watching the Elite Racing Network, and we will see you next time.